I do not care. Let's try that. See if that does it. There is no reason why it would be doing something other than the contrary. Okay, and then we can do that, and now we can do this. What is this? I don't need that. Okay. I hate that I had to do this, but it is what it is. We'll get back in order. Live troubleshooting is just so much fun. Okay, no issue there. No issue there. No issue there. And we seem to be perfectly back to normal. So it's looking like my problem is some NVIDIA update is trying to go through. I think. Let's find out. Let's get back. See how that goes. So we got those two covered. That's there. Right. I really hate that nothing changes and then something just chooses not to work anymore. I hate that shit so much. I never understand why that is the case. But that's the case. It always baffles me. And now nothing's different than what it was. All I did was reboot. In things that I think could be an issue. These things that aren't connected though, they make no sense. Okay. I think I'm back. We're gonna find out how that goes. God dang it. I did not want this today. Alright, Crispy, I'm back. Sorry about that.
You good?
So I need to like vent something as a rant because I don't understand. Let's see if you can make sense of something. Probably not, but let's just give it a go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, part of me feels like there's malicious intent because I don't know. I feel like some of the people I've been around have shown the desire to be sneaky and want to fuck around that way. At least on the internet front of things. Where's base? Are we close?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
currently trying to get off of this fucking scooter thingy.
You try pressing G?
I have. It just puts my weapons away. I just banged my face into a rock I got off it.
Okay.
I mean, if someone did have malicious intent, how would they, like...
The easiest and simplest way to do something is, they would acquire, my IP, and then once that knowledge, they could just send false packets to it, which would just interrupt it. So, like, if you had an indication that I was live, you would flood the channel so that it makes it hard and difficult. That's my understanding of it. I'm not technically inclined enough to kind of fully understand if that's even exactly how that works. I know a DDoS attack is a thing. I don't know. There's probably other methods maybe, but it's just weird to me because, like, for instance, I restarted my computer just now, and peak use right now is my OBS is at 20 CPU. And earlier it was at 45%. And it was peaking, everything was all in the red, having an issue. Yesterday, I have exactly everything the same from yesterday. We had no issue. I had the YouTube set up the same, the Rumble, X, all of it. All exactly the same. And I can clearly see, like, my signal come in, it balances, and then it's like a hard, like, very systematic boom, out. And then a certain amount of time goes by, boom, out. And then it repeats that process. It's not like it's spitter spattering. It's like this hard, very consistent, almost like a beat drop off that's repeated. And I have no idea why it's doing that. Like, I have no idea why now everything is stable. All I did was restart the computer, and I shut it down. So, for the last week, because I've been wondering how to find the gremlin that could be causing the issue, I took the time, and I go, okay. I wrote down a piece of paper. I was like, this is what I'm going to do every single time in this exact order. And if this works, then I'm going to keep doing that. And then if something breaks, I'll know whether or not, maybe if I did something different, one by one, I'll eliminate a variable, because it's the only way I know to do it. And I'll try to maybe, narrow down what the hell my problem is. And so that's what I do. Every day I have a list, and right before I start streaming, I will shut everything down, reboot all the modems, boot everything back up, and then double check everything, make sure everything's running exactly the way it was before. I have screenshots of, like, my task manager, see if maybe anything's popping up in the background just to see. And nothing's changed. And 2 or 3 days will go by, not a single issue, and then the only variable that I changed today, to put it in perspective, is typically I put out the stream notification that you see, right? In the Discord. Then I restart and boot everything, including my router. This time, I did it after rebooting. Now, the reason that's significant is that, hypothetically, if I put out a notification... Again, I sound like a fucking conspiracy theorist. I fucking hate this, because I don't think it's likely. I think it's too complicated. Typically, it's the simplest answer. Maybe fuck. But I put out the notification, and then I started. Now, whenever you reboot your router, your IP changes. It changes in a spectrum, but it changes. So, why is that a factor? I don't know. I think that's too complicated to be a cause. But so that's what I've done, and I've done this for a week, and like I said, the last few streams I've had no issue, except for just randomly just in like all of a sudden it was like a flip got switched. My CPU spiked, my GPU spiked, my OBS went up to 45%, said I had encoder lag, and everything in my system was telling me something was wrong, and there was no indication as to why. I reboot, everything's fine, and it's running at 19 to 20%. It's doing exactly the same thing it's been doing for the last 2 hours. It's cool, same temperature, and nothing's changed. How the fuck do I fix that? I don't know, it drives me mad. You can see my madness, how I would start to grow with paranoia.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it doesn't feel like... It feels malicious. But, I don't know, maybe it's probably just in my head, I don't fucking know. But we're rebooted, it's fine. Still, apparently, I'm dropping frames harder than panties to a Chad. And from what I can tell on my previews, it seems to be dropping frames only on, I think, the Rumble end of things. I think.
I mean, if it's just Rumble, then it could be Rumble problem.
Maybe nice.
If it's having more lag.
And it's been a while, but if I call my ISP, they'll be like, there's probably no issue. And it's like, I don't know. My computer tells me that I'm dropping network frame data. They don't believe me. They talk to me like I'm special, and I'm like, I can't. God damn it! It's just a pain in my ass because I don't want it. It just drives me insane. It's probably cost me so many regulars and so many people because of just it's bullshit. It becomes a meme and a thing, and it's the best way to kill a channel because you can just make it dead. And there's just fuck all I can do about it. Because it's just Saturday. And I've Googled things, and again, I've done everything with my router that I know. I've gone in, rebuilt the whole network, did everything it said. I made sure, all the math for how much data I have in terms of my upload speed for my network is correct. I made sure that my streaming computer has got priority in the network and that all my other computers are limited so that they cannot pull from it to cause lag. Like, for instance, when we were playing Factorio, remember how you joined in and it would lag? I fixed that, and now it won't do that anymore. It can't, because streaming computer will take priority over the data.
Yeah.
So I did that. I made sure that there was no bottlenecking of the ether cable, the computer motherboard, its drivers, my router, the modem, so I know there's no bottleneck of my data in any step of that process. In terms of, like, maybe the ether cable can't run that much data through it, hypothetically, like a hose with water. But no, I made sure that was good. Made sure all my programs were Everything's been the same. Even the last time it happened, my temperature was like, it was just a little close to 60 Celsius, and I was like, that's maybe it's too hot, so I'll get a better cooler. I did. Now it's holding at 40 and to 47, going back and forth, instead of 50, but it still was in safe margin.
Mm-hmm.
So I've checked all that. And I did the multi-stream for 3 weeks, right, with many days consistently with no issue. Last couple of days I did add YouTube, but yesterday and the day before I had no issue. So why would today be different? At least on that, I don't think that's the thing affecting it, because it was fine yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't think that was the cause. That's the most recent thing that's changed in the last couple of days. But there's no reason why now it would be different.
It's weird.
It's very weird. Which is what leaves me to, like, the simplest answer is malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think it's hardware. I don't think it's my router, because it's been booted. I've got the best I can get business. It's not even in the residential area. So even the fact that people are home using it. Did you hack Florida? You're on? Maybe. God, I wish. So, like, I know that I'm on a different lane of data. Or at least what my ISP could be blowing smoke up my ass. But that's what they told me. That I'm in a different lane because I'm technically registered as a business, not as a residential. So right now, if little Timmy next door is streaming Netflix, my data is not going to get in between that, because it's a completely different channel in the ISP's world.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the issue. All my lines are buried, and they're all brand new. So there's no issue there anymore. I've bitched enough to them that they fixed it. All of it. Those are things I thought were the problem. What do I got left?
Weird stuff. Very weird stuff.
It's very weird. Now, I've interacted with people, for context, that were very tech savvy. I am hardwired. And it's a brand new ether cable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like nice. I am hardwired. There is port priority to my streaming computer. It is in the first port on the ether router. I thought it was the ether cable one time. I even got a brand new one. Made sure it was right. All crisp, clean. Connections have been checked, rebooted. I went through and, to put in perspective of how paranoid I was, when I rebuilt my network, right, I checked every device. I am lagging, Jim Jam. Try it on Twitch, Jim Jam, and see if it's different on Twitch. It'd be very informative if you could tell me if it's lagging on Twitch. Hold on. So yeah, there's that. What train of thought? Twitch. What was I thinking about? Ether cable, port priority. Oh, when I rebuilt my network, because I was really concerned about this, is I went through, because your router has a log of every device that's ever logged in via its MAC address, which is, it doesn't change. So I went through every single device and confirmed that every single device connected to my network was the correct device, step by step, and made sure the MAC address matched. I got freaked out because I saw a MAC address there. I was confused. I'm like, what is this? I'm gonna reply to chat real quick.
Okay.
I forgot my ing. So working perfect on Twitch. So I did that, and there was a device that I couldn't find the match for something. I go, oh, I found something. I got all paranoid and was like, okay, shit, everything might be compromised. So I was like, okay, if I've got to change everything, I'll change it all at once. So if they're monitoring me in a malicious intent, I'll flip the switch at once. So act normal until then. So I prepared, and I was up all night just writing shit down, getting it all ready to flip the switch. Then I find out it was just an old phone I had in a fucking shoebox that was still connected. And it was like, it wasn't causing any issue, it just was on the Wi-Fi. And it was like, oh, okay. So, like, just to put it in perspective of how deep into, like, the networking as a layman that I tried to go into, you know, YouTube tutorial, you know, holding my hand, mind you, but, like, just trying to checking the logs, the IPs. I was Googling the IPs to make sure the pings are right. Just because I don't know, I'm trying to find something, and just if it all lines up, okay, that looks good, so nothing's connected that's wrong, nothing's drawing that's incorrect. I made sure that you know, priority was all set correctly. So yeah, there's all that. Like I said, I've done everything with IIP that I know. So, and I try to do everything on the site in. You know, I made sure that the titles, there's no issue. The tags are all correct. Make sure there's nothing, no like words that could be flagged as an issue. Yeah, you gotta get dual screens nights, absolutely. So like, you know, I feel like I'm trying to go above and beyond because I really want it fucking fixed, because it's like an itch I can't scratch. It's an issue. And you know, last couple times it's happened, I saw it happening. I just was like, the VODs seemed fine afterwards, so I just think to myself, fuck it, you know, I ain't gonna hurt myself mentally over it, and I just let it go. But then everyone says it lags, and I believe them, and I just don't know what to do. The VOD turns out fine. I don't know how to fucking fix it. All my settings are correct, my keyframes. Again, everything's exactly the same from yesterday. No issue. Why is today different? Maybe somebody's off that's, you know, wanting to dick around with me, because I don't know. All I know is that out of everybody that I've seen and experienced through the internet, I'm the only one that just magically has managed to find people who legitimately got a hard-on for me and wanted to fuck with me. I know this because they literally got in and left a message. And I had to fix everything. I've literally had hackers attack me with teeth. Like, they weren't fucking around. And they left a message, and I guess it was I don't know what it was, but they let me keep everything. So I don't know why that was the case. Maybe they're just wanting to dick around and troll. I don't know. Maybe I made them laugh. I have no fucking idea. But that was like 4 years ago. That's when I had to like really change my security for a lot of things. I mean, I have multiple phones numbers because of two-factor authentication. even rich, Crispy. I'm not even like a 10,000 Twitch streamer. Like, if I had 10,000 viewers and millions of dollars, I could deal with it. But I don't. The fuck? I want that at least. If you're gonna target me like it.
Can I ask you to sleep?
Sure. What the hell are you?
I'm in the woods somewhere.
Oh.
So you need to make one cake. Do you know how?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not there to keep your dick warm inside me.
I know. I'm glad everything's working fine on the Twitch and you're on, and that info is really, really good.
Fuck me in the ass. Kelvin just spawned here?
Well, that's probably what he was doing while you were sleeping.
Jesus Christ, why'd he come all the way up here?
For that sweet, sweet, crispy pussy.
Oh, just running off now, great. What a sweet old man.
So anyway, that's my nightmare. All my rants over. That's all I got.
You know what I got? I got a golf cart with a fucking snowplow.
Nice.
So kind of was better. Fucking hide your legs.
It'd get better. So crispy. Didn't have my push to talk on. So crispy. Stupid question. After the whole rant, what do you think a solution is?
Move to England so you have a different IP address.
I mean, it would work.
It would work. We got better internet providers here as well. We don't get hacked every week or so. Although you lose gun privileges, and I know it's sad, very sad. But
Yeah, that's a pretty big no for me on that. That's the one thing that I really like and probably will never say no to. It sounds probably a little idiotic to some, but if they keep knocking on my door saying that I have to give up my gun, they're gonna have to kill me.
Oh, at least make sure you take a few of them out as well.
Yeah, I'm not giving it up. Because it literally has saved my life and someone I loved. I didn't have to do it, just the threat of it, you know? Just one time. Just one single time. And that's all it took. And I was like, I now understand. I fully understand. I ain't gonna hurt anybody long as they don't fuck with me. It's real simple.
Okay, can you look up out of the mountains for a second?
Thank you, Jim Jam. I am sorry about that. I think it's just Saturday because a lot of people are maybe on there. Rumble's been growing really, really fast. They've been posting repeatedly that they keep having to update capacity.
Can you see it?
What's that?
Are you looking at the mountains?
Yes.
Can you see my flares?
No, I can see the big giant blue bubble of a K.
Ah.
That's good nights. I don't think it's gonna last though, based on what I'm looking at, but
Why am I sliding down? Shit. I'm gonna die.
yeah. Again, the fact that it's stable on Twitch's end gives me insight as well. Which means I don't think it's anything on my end. Which makes my brain even get bigger and flippier and trippier. So. That's why we multi-stream. Yeah, it also gives good indication, Jim Jam, that it's not me. Although earlier it was because I said I had encoder lag. So that was something else. I rebooted and it fixed it, but yeah, it is nice.
So we are kind of gonna starve for a bit.
I got plenty of food.
What?
I had tons of food.
Okay.
Also, aren't you supposed to hunt?
Well, it's a bit hard with no animals around. They're all hibernating.
I don't think all of them are hibernating right now.
Well, minus the mooses, but I can't find any.
Alright, so we got a door there. And then I'm going to line up. We want door here.
Mind, I see one. I see two.
I kind of hate ranting about the internet thing occasionally, but because I know people don't really care, and sometimes a little too inside baseball. But it is what it is. Anyway, how's your day, Jim Jam? What are you playing? What's happening? Distract me. Save me from my spiralings of stupidity.
Beg for mercy, piece of shit. He didn't beg for mercy, Coke.
Yeah, that's true, Jim Jam. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, there is like a hive mind of like when you get a couple of people around, you know, people who think differently, have different ideas, different perspectives, different knowledge. You know, they might have a little piece of information, be like, oh yeah, I had something like that happen, and I can give it to you, and it kind of makes a difference. It's almost kind of like outsourcing, you know, kind of putting out feelers for information. That's why I've always kind of always try to share and get information, because it seems so powerful that and useful.
Ooh, this is looking nice.
Yeah. So for some reason, that one won't go away.
This fireplace is really something.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ.
The fuck did it come from?
You spawned. Don't worry, Cookie, it's outside now.
Okay. So roof-wise, or
There's a
building-wise.
bunch of babies as well.
So we need to put a window there and a window here. So do that. And that.
Oh, okay, come outside.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Skin it.
Oh. Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there we go. I got it.
Awesome.
Oh, I've not heard it said like that before, Jim Jam. I like that, though. I definitely hear what you're putting down. Yeah. There's definitely truth in that.
Okay, do you like my outfit?
Is it creepy? Oh, you got a cross!
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you get that?
In one of there's a bunch of lodges behind the mountain. I went to.
Okay.
I'll take you to them once we start exploring.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Well, Crispy, here's another issue.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I'm gonna do it in this way. So you know the way that, like, making struts works in this, right? So the way that this works... Is there another baby around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's, I've heard a shorter phrase for that, but there's the baby.
It was inside a house.
Okay.
I'm sure we can't get the heads anymore.
I know, right? Alright, come here. See these logs? I can't remove this one. Or...
You just did it.
Just you wait. I can't remove this one now.
It's because it's supporting these two. So if you wanted to remove it, you'd have to take the thingy off.
What thingy?
Like the top logs.
Right, but I was just... so there's a distance limit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the thing I've heard, Jim Jam, is that there's a wisdom in the crowd. Is what I've heard before. Wisdom in the crowd.
I haven't seen Virginia in a while.
Virginia's fine. Yeah, and it depends too. Like, you know, there are some people who are pretty ambitious that can get things done, but the exception does not disprove the rule. Is something I've heard and I've really liked ever since I was told that. And I think there's a lot of merit to that. Or as the meme goes, Jim Jam, remember? Monkey together strong? Basically. Right? It's a really dumbed down, you know, Zoomer millennial thought process, but same thing. Crispy, you got food?
Yeah, I killed a moose.
Can I have some?
Yeah, I put on meat on there for both of us.
Is it apes together? Okay, monkey, ape, tomato, tomato. I'm gonna slap you, Euron. Yeah, I know, right? Harambe's saying that, of course. Can I take all the meat?
I
I took 2.
just want to eat.
Don't put the lamp there, because then how are we gonna get rid of it? That's where I want to put the dining room table. Maniac. We don't need no leg lamp yet. Wait, let me get it built first. You can put your weird lamps. You can put it next to our bed.
Okay.
We'll put it next to the bed. It'll make sense. Now, is there like shutters or kind of window-esque things we can make in this? I thought there was.
That is a good question.
Okay, for support. Put all that stuff in there. Dining room. Some various
I
others.
do not believe there are.
That's unfortunate. I now need a buttload of wood.
Thou shalt... how do you sound that?
Yuren says, I am thirsty and cold. 2 things Tifa could cure.
Oh, never mind, Coke. There are shutters.
I was wondering. Yeah! Yeah, can you put them on all the windows? Was it the half logs?
Yeah, half logs, and then you have to cut it in half.
Okay. You are right about that, Euron. And, yes, they have, Jim Jam. It's been a lot easier building the house this time. Earlier, like, I was being derpy, but Crispy showed me that they fixed... You can easily, like, make a staircase. The last time it was really janky, but this time it's good.
Coke, is Alabama as bad as people really say it is?
No.
That's a shame.
So, to put it in perspective of Alabama, I'll give you a good Euron says it's worse. Nah. I literally have been at the heart of Alabama. My family's from Alabama.
Are your parents brothers and sisters?
No.
Okay.
No, not even close. When you mean by bad, you just mean the meme, the incest meme joke?
Hmm.
So, people... there's some truth to the stereotypes. Like most stereotypes, believe it or not, in life. Go figure. Even the Pollock ones. I'm sure you can attest to that, Crispy. Uh-huh. But the biggest thing about Alabama, if people don't know, and the biggest thing about like that type of region in the U.S. is the whole concept of Southern hospitality is a thing. And to put it in perspective, what was really incredible and what's kind of wild about it is the last time I was there for my uncle's 50th birthday. And it was a big party. It was, I mean, middle of Huntsville, Alabama, the core of the core. Friends, family, whole thing. Everyone got together. People from out of state. Big get together. And I was at a family friend's farm. He's got hundreds of acres. And he was showing me around when I was exploring the place. I'm being kind of vague on purpose because, you know, reasons. But to put it in perspective, we were there and one of the neighbors came by. Now, they came by, you know, a couple miles up the street. They're pretty far because, you know, every property is many, many acres. And they go, oh, I forgot something. And it was, they wanted to bring a case of liquor. Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was 21, or almost 21. I have to say 21 for reasons, because I may have been drinking, but I was 21. And they gave me the keys to the four-wheeler, and they go, can you go get it? And they told me where it was. And I could drive up to their house on the four-wheeler, the neighbor. Everything is unlocked. There are guns and everything just sitting out. Personal stuff, cash, just completely nice. Your best friend, they'll trust you, they think you're a human being. But the moment you fuck with them, they will murder you in cold blood and then crack a beer over your body.
Okay.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
It really is how it was. It was great. Now, granted, everyone knows my family, and then, I'm the son of someone everyone knows, so there's that. But it is a pretty perspective of just how, like, even if it wasn't me, just anybody who was driving down the street, if they would have happened to pull in that house, everything would have been open and unlocked. So, the brother-sister thing was,
That was because of you, wasn't it?
No, I wish. I don't have a sister.
Whoa. What do you wish, babe?
Because I wanted that reaction. No. I actually wish I had brothers or sisters, but I don't.
I mean, I can always give you some.
Yeah. But, I think it was... I actually don't know what the root of where that came from. I think... to try to keep it in the family, kind of like, I guess, royalty does. I just picked my scab on my face. That's unfortunate. But I'm not too sure where that came from. Like, I guess just convenience or an exaggeration to be funny, but it's not smiled upon in that area. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe cut, like, the big thing was, the biggest thing that I know is Kentucky in particular is really well known because I think for the longest time I think you still can marry your first cousin. So there's a lot of cousin things. No blood on stream. I know. I don't care. Is it TOS because I have a scab on my face? I'm sorry. A tree branch hit me and scraped me on my face.
Quite something.
What's that?
Marrying your first cousin.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was arranged marriages for like keeping stuff in the family in terms of like inheritance, because like a lot of the laws are, you know, Betty down the street has got 100 acres, and Dad's like, you're gonna marry her even though she's a first cousin because we want to keep all that land in the family because we ain't gonna let Mr. John Brown over there get it. So you're gonna marry her and like it. There was like that kind of mentality a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's the same thing that happened in, you know, a lot of it's a holdover from what happened in Europe for thousands of years with all the kings and dukes and duchies and all that. Royal families, very inbred. That's probably where it came from. Right? Because why was the royal family inbred? Because they wanted to keep it in the family, because they were afraid of losing their wealth, power, and land.
Mm-hmm.
So, there you go.
See, the English royal family, they all live so long. Maybe the key in a long life is the inbreed.
Maybe. Oh, by the way, Euron, you want to hear something really interesting? You'll like this. So, I learned this. I'd have to pull it up to be exact, but believe it or not, and this is crazy, the hick stereotype is actually caused by a parasite that was common in the region. I believe it's ringworm? Or it's something you get in the water. There's a type of disease, and it makes you it actually has all the characteristics that you would associate with the hick hillbilly, and it was only in that region of the U.S. I gotta figure it out. There's actually a name for it. I think it's associated with raccoons. Hold on, the parasite. Maybe it's fake news. I'll find out the parasite. Hookworms. There it is. There it is. So Southerners weren't lazy, just infected with hookworms. That stereotype actually was caused by a disease in the area. And hookworms are common in like the lakes and stuff like that because I think it comes from the feces of certain animals. But stereotypes are almost always the conclusions of lazy science. Sometimes stereotypes reveal a hidden truth. The trope that the lazy Southerner dates back to the American postbellum period following the end of the Civil War. No one really knew where it came from. But the image of the lethargic, filthy, drawling farmer has pervaded art, literature, and popular culture up until this very moment. Now, this is, of course, a theory, and the evidence is very compelling, but there's no confirmation because it's, you know, we're talking hundreds of years and millions of people. Some compelling evidence for the theory that a hookworm epidemic was responsible for its rural stereotype. The hookworm is a parasite that's been called the germ of laziness. Due to the exhaustion and mental fogginess it tends to inflict upon its victims. Historical evidence shows that the parasites ravaged the American South throughout the early 20th century as a result of the poor sanitation and lack of public health programs among the poor. So because they were really rural farm and very poor, they got hookworms, and then that caused mental fogginess and laziness. Because it's a parasite. Like, you know, was it, what's the one that sits in your intestine that makes your B12 low? Tapeworm. Tapeworms can make you have B12 deficiency. If I remember right. So, This is a little cool bit of information. I'll link this article. It's a Vice. Vice is dead now. And Vice is, well, they did some good documentaries, and I don't know what year this was. Early Vice was okay. Yeah, early or old Vice. Yeah, this is 2016, so this is like early Vice. So they weren't so ideologically captured at that point. Not as much as, well, now it's over for them. Go woke, go broke, as they say. There's the article.
Oh my god, quick, Virginia, just bring me a rabbit.
That's good. Did you get the ding of the achievement?
Nope.
Not yet. But yeah, in case you're wondering, you're on. It's a cool little bit of info. Now, in fairness, a majority of people can be that way. Now, did people kind of hop onto that cultural tradition because it was convenient? I'm sure. I'm sure they did, right? I'm sure once it became a thing, everyone just did it because that's what they grew up with and taught, and then it kept, you know, going from there. That wouldn't surprise me at all. I wouldn't say all, but I would say
Fire slowly
something that started it was definitely like that.
In the campfire.
But yeah, hookworms. Nasty little things. I've had hookworm before and had to be cleansed of it. It makes you extremely tired. Like, sleep 16 hours a day tired. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that. Yeah, I believe that, Euron. That's very fascinating. Yeah. Yeah, and again, the king, queens, the royalty, people want to be connected with the money. They want to keep it very specific. Yeah. That doesn't surprise me one bit. I mean, that's a lot of it really is. It's about means and power.
Sorry?
I mean, you got to think, right? Let's be, I mean, I'm going to be as pragmatic as possible when I say this. And again, not that I condone any of it, but I'm just saying. We're judging the past by a standard that, in a world that we have no understanding of at the time, because we didn't live then. But if you're a peasant, okay, living in a mud hut, and what have you, and like you eat squalor, you're hungry all the time, you're uncomfortable, you've got, you know, disease, you're just all whatever, and someone comes up to you and goes, all you got to do is marry your cousin and bang her, and you can be richer. Most people are gonna do that. They don't really care. Now, it turned out really bad because it does fuck with genetics and fertility. It's very, very bad. We know this from science. But practically at the time, it was smart for them to keep the money and the power and everything else. And you gotta think. Say there's one pretty girl born in the town. Yeah, cousins were huge. They still are. I'm pretty sure, but I think a very large portion of the world still does the things with cousin. Am I dropping again? Yes. Yes, I am. My CPU has randomly jumped up again to 45%, and I have no idea why. Yeah, it's doing that encoder thing. My OBS went from 20% CPU usage to 45, and I have no idea why.
See, I was gonna ask if it could be because of the amount of entities, because of the logs. But then Since it's OBS, it would be the game that's lagging, not.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, everything with the game has no effect on my straight OBS. It is the 8 o'clock thing again. So what's changed? So what's changed is my CPU load. So now I'm peaking on my CPU, which is what's causing it to lag. Because I've always run it, and it's always run at 20%, not double what it's running. It's running as if it's running 2 OBSs right now. I haven't done anything! I literally, for 1 hour, it didn't do this. Nothing's changed. Now, all of a sudden, like a flip of a switch, it's now become an issue. Temperature is the same. Everything's the same. Oh, yeah. This bothers me so much. We need to sleep and save. Okay.
Alright.
So what has happened to make my OBS do this? It says my encoder is overloading, consider turning it down. But the problem is that I haven't changed any of that. Those settings were good yesterday, so I don't believe that is the case. Even that's what that's telling me. I'm gonna figure this out, because fuck this. I'm even under my recommended bitrate. Why are you using so much CPU? What is going on?
Luke, you going to sleep?
Yeah, sorry. One more. Yeah, just a game. Yeah, it's the encoder. So the encoder is skipping frames because it's peaking at the CPU level. Because right now it's running at... It's requiring 50% of my CPU for my OBS. It never normally requires that. There's no reason for it to do that. Something else is running. Something else is kerfuffled. You can lay all the floor up there. Yeah, I gotta tinker real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Very sorry for the distraction.
You're good, you're good. Yeah, I'll do some work this time.
So something needs to stop. So let's try this. I'm going to end it recording the VOD. OBS can give a log of what it did so you can see the issue. Ooh, do you have a link to that where it says where I can see the log you're on? Because if it can tell me, that would be great. Because we were at 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, and then literally within like the last 20 minutes, what time is it? It's from 9 to now, something happened. So I stopped recording the backup to the hard drive. It does not seem to have changed at all. Okay. And here's something interesting. I don't know how much my audio is going to get through because everything is lagging. But it's also forcing all of my stream data. It's jumping between 50 and 70 FPS. It's not staying at 60. It's going up and down.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
That is quite weird.
All right.